It's been a couple weeks since I posted a video. Sorry about that, I've been busy with uni. But I thought I'd share an old video that I made in 2016 about Batman vs Superman. The video is really bad and cringy, but I thought it would be funny to share. I might do a video on Zack Snyder's filmography sometime in the future, even though, he's nowhere near the best director. So then I can talk about Batman vs Superman again. All I'll say is this movie is shit, and it's not even enjoyable as a cringe fest. So now enjoy my garbage video.
Welcome to Scrub Lord Critics with Turge and Bumfluff. On the menu today is Bat Scam v Pooperman, Dawn of Justice.
Also, slight spoilers will be found in this review. You have been warned.
Let me start by saying what I like about Dawn of Justice. It's Jesse Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg carries this movie.
Well, obviously.
Some people say he ruined the movie, but I think that's ridiculous. He plays the main villain, Lex Luthor, and some people say his character is far too cliché. My answer to that is, at least he has a character. Everyone else in this film is so bland, so unbelievably boring that I find it impossible to care about them, or anything that happens to them at all. I just find myself pointing out logical failures, and waiting for Eisenberg to be on screen again.
Yeah, I found this movie really sad. There were so many forgettable characters who had no emotion. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all bland and emotionless. And we can't put it down to bad acting either, because most of these actors are considered outstanding in their acting professions. Ben Affleck has 2 Oscars for Christ's sakes.
He wasn't doing so great in the Daredevil movie either. Maybe he's just stuck in a rut at the moment. I put it down to shitty writing or shitty directing, but perhaps old Ben is slightly to blame. Batman's whole character in this movie is that he hates Superman and misses his parents. Oh, and that he's Batman!
Affleck's portrayal of Batman was garbage. His voice was flat and made me long for Christian Bale's raspy voice from the Dark Knight trilogy. Affleck's entire character consisted of... what was it again, Turge?
I'm Batman!
Giving 0 sense of originality to the role. I am a big fan of the 2013 Man of Steel movie, but I feel that Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman was similar to Affleck's portrayal of Batman. He gave no emotional feeling to the role, making me envision the portrayal of the Superman character from one of the older films, such as Superman Returns.
People give Superman Returns a hard time, but I found it at least charming and fun. Something I could never say about this movie.
And I absolutely agree with you about Eisenberg, Turge. His Lex Luthor was by far the best character in the entire movie. He was witty, humorous, and actually gave life to this movie. Many DC fanboys do not agree, but I feel that this character was interesting and complicated, creating an amazing character to follow.
Well, I wouldn't say all that. The people who say he's just a discount Heath Ledger, I definitely see where they're coming from. But discount Heath Ledger is better than nothing, and that's what I find in every other character in this movie. Basically nothing.
By discount Heath Ledger, do you mean that he was actually good? Because Ledger played the Joker amazingly.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg was good. This movie is so terrible that discount Heath Ledger was the best part.
Anyway, as I was saying, Eisenberg differs from the original character, giving his own portrayal. He was completely different from the Luthor shown in other DC mediums, and I believe that he did Lex justice, making his version unique. Opposed to the other actors, I think Jesse Eisenberg made the movie relatively enjoyable. Now, let's talk about the story of the movie.
What story?
You know, the really convoluted one that was really hard to follow?
Oh yes, that story.
There were way too many main characters to follow, and their motives were stupid. One minute, Batman wants to kill Superman. And, oh no, they have the same mother's name. They couldn't possibly kill each other now. Bat and Supes are best friends after that.
Yeah, they may as well have had the same dentist said, "Wow, small world," and then went off to finish the movie.
It was very frustrating for me to try to follow the story because of the constant changes. Character arcs were very obvious as well. It was obvious what Lex Luthor was going to do before he did it, as well as how the film was going to unfold. There wasn't much suspense or wonder in this movie, and the idea of the Kryptonite as a sort of Deus Ex Machina felt unnatural and was only used to beat a flawed character that had way too much power.
But that's basically what Kryptonite has always been, right?
Yeah, but this movie was so different from the original comics that they could have done something different.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't have mattered. It's not like they were trying to stick to the comics in any way whatsoever. Not that we read the comics, because we're scrubs. Anyway, the problems that I have with the plot are just the stupid parts. So much of the plot doesn't make sense, like when they find the kryptonite. How did they know where to find it? Who were those guys who dived down and grabbed it? Who was that guy they brought it to? Did he tell them where it was? No, that doesn't make sense, because he was surprised to see it. You get the idea. It looks like 2 normal-ass dudes found a cool rock and gave it to some other random dude. There are too many moments like this in the movie. It's impossible to take seriously.
Also, one of the funniest parts in the movie is when the guy hits the rock with a pickaxe, and of all things, it makes the sound of a fucking window breaking.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. Though I don't think it was intended to be. Anyway, there is something worse than the garbage story. The worst things about this movie are the setups for future DC movies. By setups, I mean random scenes that are shoehorned into the movie, just to pave the way for future DC films. The setups completely take you out of the movie, and make you ask, why is Superman a bad guy now? Is that the Flash? And what the fuck is going on? They say, hey, just to remind you, you're not in an immersive experience. You're watching a movie. And here are some other movies we might make. The trailers are supposed to be over after the movie starts, but apparently Zack Snyder didn't get that memo. You have to be a total DC nut to even understand what they're trying to get across, which shouldn't be necessary to watch a movie that's clearly aimed at anyone who enjoys a good action film.
We all know DC are trying too hard to compete with Marvel, but they didn't take 3 years and 5 movies to set up a connected universe. No, DC producers were like, one movie will be enough, threw everything DC related into a blender, and said, that'll do, and fucked off for the day.
Yeah, what was this movie even trying to accomplish? Now I know it's trying to set up for the Justice League. DC are trying to be Marvel, whatever. But this movie is also trying to be so serious, like they're also trying to emulate the style of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. This whole movie is full of these dark settings and sad characters. There is one moment in the movie that encompasses this problem. There's this part where Superman sees Wonder Woman in her getup for the first time and asks Batman, "Is she with you?" To which Batman replies, "I thought she was with you." Well, fucking This is a textbook Marvel moment, but in this movie it's so unbearably out of place that I want to castrate myself. You can't do this. You cannot spend a whole movie being so goddamn serious and then pull that kind of line out of your ass. To wrap up, this movie could have been done so much better, but it's full of so much unnecessary bullshit, it just makes me want to slap myself in the face.
It has problems. There would not be a problem in any movie that was competently written.
Honestly, don't even talk to me about Wonder Woman.
Apart from the writing, everything else was done at least well enough, but nothing spectacular.
Nothing that could save this movie from its shittiness.
We give this shit show a 27 out of 100.
That means it's getting caged for sure.
Oh no! Not the cage!
No! No! No!
Rest in pieces, movie. See you next time.